No one remembers the takers. Everyone remembers the givers. Coming up next on Pastor Bob Daily. The world is full of givers and takers. Which category do you fall in today? Let's talk about it. There are those people that feel like the world owes them something. They have a feeling that the government is some magical force that has a lot of money and they should get their fair share. Except the government is the people and the money comes from the people. And so there are those people that somehow spend their whole lives taking and taking and taking and learning how to, to get a hold of the system and do it. Not just with government, but with a lot of things. The church many times is a taker. And this is one of my pet peeves. You can't ever tell that, can you? But the church that has all these expenses, they keep growing bigger and bigger. They keep having more and more expenses. They keep adding on, and it takes so much money to keep everything going. And they take and they take and they take, and everybody in the church gives, and the church keeps taking, and it doesn't go anywhere. The church ought to be a collection of people's gifts to give, and the upkeep of all that should be minimal. Well, you've heard me talk about this before, and my challenge to churches has never changed. You ought to really work hard at giving 50%. Seriously. Instead of less than 10% going to missions and outside whatever, 50% ought to go to the operation of the church, including salaries, whatever you got. The other 50%, in my opinion, should go into the community and the outreaches that you have. Why? Because giving is the thing that people remember. It's the thing that blesses them. It's the thing that Christ told us to do. All of us, churches, individuals, families, we all need to step up our giving. One of the things that blesses me are the families that come down and serve the homeless with us. Not just individuals, but families. When all the kids come as well. And we've had families, and we still do, where the kids are quite young and they still hand things out on the line, and they're still part of it. And they grow up with that mentality of giving and that it's all about just receiving. No, it's about giving. So I love that part, and I think we ought to be training our children appropriately, and I think we ought to allow them the opportunity to give. But folks, all of us need to be involved in giving a whole lot more than we're taking. When we have things that we hold on to tightly, when we hoard our stuff, when stuff becomes more important than people, when organizations become more important than people, when buildings become more important than people, we have a problem. And I just don't think that's fulfilling the Great Commission. Anything wrong with the building? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think most churches would discover that if they stepped up their giving, people would even give more. Because in the spirit of giving, we give more. We're more involved, not less. Church says, well, I can't afford to, we can't afford to do 50%. And I always say, well, you can't afford not to. A church that really is involved in community, when people are involved along with their money, people give even more because their hearts are in it. So, folks, that's my lesson for today. My coffee's ready. It's time for me to stop. And, folks, nobody remembers the takers. Everyone remembers the givers. Why? Because it's the thing that blesses us. So be a giver today. God bless you. Have a great day.